Alright, once you get up there, just call a target. We'll help support.
Target acquired.
Charlie, Charlie.
New target acquired.
I've printed out some Rumble now.
New target acquired. Target destroyed.
Hotel, hotel.
New target acquired.
Please, we need 5 side.
Turn around that corner, Echo 4.
New target
Hotel, hotel. Center torso.
target destroyed.
Nice kill.
New target acquired.
This is where in India.
Target destroyed.
Nice kill. Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
This is where Foxtrot.
New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Foxtrot is still here.
Target destroyed.
I think the rest might be under. I'm not.
Yeah, a lot of them dropped down. Bravos, still up here though.
Let's take out Bravo and then we can store on the bottom.
Okay, this is the Echo. Left shoulder open. Archer. Learn both. Dropped under. Kid is dropped under.
Boat actually.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Dropping under.
Acquired.
Yep.
Bravo, Bravo.
Like.
Target destroyed.
Nice kill. Last one, fellas.
Target acquired.
Nice work. Good game, fellas. Nice teamwork.
Thanks for calling it.
Sure, no problem. One- that last comment. That made the video right there. Fantastic. Whew. Wow, good game. Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Mech Lab, where we're going to go through the details for the build on the mech I have in front of me, the Uziel 3P. And I'm going to go through the reason why I chose this particular variant to showcase first out of all the Uziel variants in just a moment. But first, a little context, a little overview about this mech. There was a lot of hype around this mech, especially in the build to this release. But it does seem to have fallen a little flat in some areas while everyone is kind of adjusting to how they should play it. And the main reason being is because it does have some bigger hitboxes. It's a wider medium, it's a little taller than you're used to maybe, but the big thing here is that it just seems to absorb a lot of damage, and it's kind of flimsy on these hard points that you would think would last a little bit longer, especially being a 50-ton medium. So, you know, I know everyone's kind of figuring it out, and I realize, especially with the flimsiness and the hitboxes and everything, that this is never really going to play the role of a frontline brawler. And, you know, I'm sure it can, and in certain situations it will, but optimally, game by game, I don't think you're going to want to take this mech and put it up on the front lines, and if you do, it's not going to be one of those mechs that lasts up front for long. It's going to dip in, dip out, just put some shots down, especially at close range, peek, poke, peer, get some damage, and, you know, dip out pretty quickly. So what I decided to cater this mech towards is being more of a support mech. So you're not on the front lines, you're helping out the guys who are on the front lines, especially with the build that I have on here. And you saw exactly what this build entails from the first round of gameplay, but now it's time to explain it. We're going to go through the overview of the mech, we're going to go through the hard points and everything, exactly what I placed on it and why, and then we're going to go through you know, the rest of the details of the overview, go through the skill tree, and then head into the second round so you can see exactly what I mean a little bit more in context there. First, let's go into the Mech Lab and check out the stats for this variant. The 3P is definitely very unique, and the hard points are 3 ballistic, 2 energy, 1 missile, 1 AMS, and 0 ECM. Now, the big reason why I decided to pick this variant over any other was strictly for that one little thing that this mech has that the others do not. And if I could get that off the... I'll just leave it as it is. The UAC jam chance reduction of 20%. That combined with the UAC jam duration bonus of 15%, so you know how we filled out the skill tree a little bit already, definitely makes this mech more of a support role. And being a 50-tonner, you're not going to cram a ton of UAC ballistics in this thing, but the ones that are available and fitting in with the tonnage is certainly going to make this mech appeal that much more to those of you who actually want to play it and get more satisfaction with your role out there on the battlefield in its performance. So let's check out the builds. You already saw what it was. We have 2 UAC 2s, we have 2 ER small lasers, and a rocket launcher 10. So, again, I wanted to cater towards the ballistics the most, you know, with the UAC jam chance reduction and then the UAC jam duration reduction on the skill tree. So I decided to stack up 2 UAC 2s there. I'm not even using this left arm. And then for the 2 energy hard points, they are high mounted. They are above the cockpit. I wanted to go with ER smalls for the heat efficiency and to save a little bit more tonnage. The rocket launcher 10 in that center torso here, so it's right above the center torso as well, in line with the energy weapons. And then I also wanted to fit in some jump jets, heat efficiency, and everything. So we have 4 tons of UAC 2 ammo. We have the 2 jump jets, 2 ER smalls, and a rocket launcher 10. Didn't even use this left arm for anything. I actually stripped some armor off of it so that I could fit another double heat sink in there. I stacked a light engine, a light engine 250 in there, so it goes 87 kph. And I really, really enjoy this mech. I was really trying to figure out how it would fit out there on the battlefield, especially given what we know. And playing a support role, especially, you know, not taking the majority of the attention from your opponents, hanging back a little bit, amplifying the damage that is put down, focusing up with your heavies and your assaults to just pinpoint the damage, especially with the UAC 2s. You know, they have the quickest cycle time, even as UACs. They do cool down very, very quickly. And you have that UAC jam chance reduction and UAC jam duration. So stacking all of this together, you have a very, very dynamic mech. It's just a matter of how you want to play it. And I wanted to play the support role with this particular variant, catering to that particular quirk that it comes with in the UAC jam chance reduction. I wanted to be able to jump around on the battlefield, so I put jump jets on there, even just to hop over little obstacles, maybe get out of a tough situation if we get flanked. And then support. Even if I run out of ammo with 4 tons of UAC 2 ammo, I still have the backup ER smalls there And for a final little punch there, or even just to use in general out there on the battlefield if you get a lot of face time, this is a one-shot deal with the Rocket Launcher 10, so I wanted to make sure that you know, if I do use it, I connect with my target and it's critical, and maybe even game-changing in some cases. So that's the reasoning behind the build. That's exactly how I came up with it. So I had to fit the tonnage, I had to cater to what the quirks were, and I filled out everything accordingly, especially with how I like to play. So in the late stages, you're definitely using these backup weapons a little bit more than, say, your UAC2s in the beginning is playing more of support. But let's head over to the skill tree here so you can see exactly how I configured it. The entire right side of the tree, for the most part, apart from, like, obviously the Gauss charge, LB10 spread, and stuff like that. I wanted to go with the enhanced UAC rack, so that is reducing the duration of the jam. So if I get jammed up, it reduces the jam by 15%. And then magazine capacity. I want to have as much ammo as I possibly can per ton. So I clicked on both nodes to add a little bit more to it, and then just filled out the rest of it. Heat gen, cooldown, and everything. It is an extremely heat-efficient mech. You know, really the only thing combined is going to be when you're firing the ER smalls and the UAC2s all at the same time. Not even focusing on survival tree. We're playing more support role, so we're not going to be on the front lines. Figured that was, you know, a little bit more towards the front line if I was going to fill out anything on there, but I wanted to fill out the mobility tree. I wanted to add speed tweak and be able to turn and maneuver very quickly to help out different friendlies based on who they're targeting. So I made sure that I pretty much filled up almost everything except for torso yaw and anchor turn. Then if we go to mech operations, I filled all the way down to heat containment. So we have 2 cool run nodes filled in, a lot of improved gyros just in case we do get targeted. There's less shake in the cockpit. We can keep putting down some damage. And then obviously the heat containment as well. And then with a sensor tree, I wanted to fill out everything, including radar, all the radar deprivation nodes on the left side, including seismic sensors. So if they are within 100 meters of me, I know I can dip out of that situation very quickly and hopefully gain some ground and some distance between me and whoever's following me. As for the auxiliary, I think now, looking back on it, considering how heat efficient this mech is, I'm going to switch this around. I had the extra consumable slot because all the Uziel variants that I was running were very, very heat intensive. And I decided to add this on there because I thought that was going to be the case with this mech, but it's actually the opposite. We don't even need this with all the cool run and heat gen and everything like that. So I'm thinking I might even take it back to here, unless I'm actually thinking going this way with the advanced salvos tree, and adding another airstrike on there, so we have 2 airstrikes and maybe 1 cool shot or something like that. That's what I'm thinking going forward. I still have 1 node that I can use, which I'll probably put either towards you know, quick ignition, something like that, or even going more back towards this tree and going with cooldown. You know, it's really a matter of how you want to play it. I can even go with some laser duration nodes if I want to. But at the time, I wanted to give you guys an accurate, raw depiction of what I placed on this mech. So I hope that this overview kind of helped you in that capacity with how to not only build it out, but go into the skill tree, cater to how you built the mech. All right? I know that a lot of these nodes look very, very appealing on paper, but if they're not really benefiting the kind of role that you want to play out there on the battlefield, they're not really benefiting you at all. So just take that everything with a grain of salt and figure out how you want to play the mech, build it out that way, and fill out the skill tree accordingly. I know it sounds like very obvious, but you'd be surprised. I even get caught up sometimes as well. But that's going to do it for the overview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to go through the second round of gameplay just to show you what I do have in here. I'm not even using, at the time I wasn't even using the 3rd slot, so that is completely my fault. Whereas I probably would go like with something like that, 2 airstrikes and a UAV. That's what I'm thinking at least. Because again, I don't even use the cool shot or anything like that. I really messed up in the skill tree versus the consumables and seeing how it performed on the battlefield, because the first 2 rounds that I played, I didn't those were the first ones that I recorded with this mech, and it was trial. I was seeing how the build worked. So I didn't even get a chance to modify and tweak it accordingly because it performed very well. I mean, you saw how the first round ended up, and you're about to go through the second round. So just to provide a little bit of context here so that you understand why everything is kind of mumbled up and jumbled all over the place and really kind of not coordinated, is because this mech performed better than I expected to. So I didn't even have the opportunity by the time. I wanted to make sure I had at least a couple matches in there before I decided that this was a decent build or something that I wanted to take out there. But the rounds that I had were absolutely fantastic. So I can only expect this to be even better with all these, you know, catering actually to the quirks and everything like that. So this performance, add some more content to it, and you probably have an even better mech to perform out there on the battlefield. But that's going to do it for the overview on this mech. I hope it was informative. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you already hit that thumb button. But let's head back out to the battlefield to perform another round in the Uziel 3P UAC Jam Chance Reduction focused Uziel variant. I'm very excited to take this guy back out on the battlefield. So let's head out there now and see exactly how we do. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go. Second round of gameplay is going to take place on Frozen City, and as you can see, we are playing skirmish game mode, so no other objective other than destroying each other, absolutely wrecking each other out there on the battlefield. Last man standing, or men and women and, well, whoever's playing, whoever's left out there on the battlefield is going to win this one. And right at the get-go, we have this Stormcrow running across the battlefield, getting very, very aggressive here in Fox 7, and all we're doing is putting down some suppression fire. I see I have a couple friendlies over here already, and I'm going to help amplify some damage. We have a Uziel next to us, and I'm just going to try and help him out as much as I possibly can. The Stormcrow might eat him alive. The Stormcrow is going back into cover, trying to hide from the Lermers, but now in front of us we have this Uziel at long range, and we're just putting down some suppression fire on him, changing our focus yet again. We're going for this Stormcrow. They are completely ignoring me right now for the most part, simply because we're behind this building. We are not the primary target. They do have an Atlas charging forward though, so we do need to be careful of him just in case he decides to get around the corner. He could really do some hurt on me. So I'm just going to stay behind these buildings, make sure that we have some cover, continue to put down some suppression fire on them, and finally that Stormcrow does duck back into cover. He's very, very badly hurt. Not really sure what he's trying to go for there. Going for this Irby though in front of us, and the Centurion at long range. Two Centurions at long range. I'm going to go with the one that has a little bit more face time, and this Atlas is back again. He popped up out of nowhere, and I'm just going to keep firing in on him as much as I possibly can. He is trying to turn. We do have a little bit of a weapon jam on both of the UACs, and that Atlas is able to dip back into cover, but he is targeted by some of my friendlies as well, so I cannot see him living too long here. Going for the Centurion now. He did give us a little bit of face time. He's not even paying attention to us. Again, we're using this building completely to our advantage, and the rest of their team is focusing up on the flank as opposed to me, that's just constantly pelting everywhere I possibly can. And right in front of us, this Atlas is just tanking forward, not getting any help from the rest of his team, just trying to tank some damage and take the focus off the rest of his friendlies, but they left him to die, so we took advantage of that real quick. A Jaeger mech right in front of us. He goes back into cover, but we were able to get some shots down on him. Turning around, we do have the Centurion right in front of us who's giving us his back, and we're going to keep lighting him up until he turns around. Finally, he does notice us. He does exchange a little bit of fire, but then goes back into cover behind the buildings. Now we're going to focus back up again on this Jaeger mech, just constantly putting some salvos into him if we can, between the ER smalls and the UAC 2s. We did use our rocket launcher already, so that is no longer able to be used. This Blackjack in front of us is taking an enormous amount of a beating, trying to get back into cover, and he finally does dip back there. King Crab, we have to be careful here. We do not want to get targeted by this guy. We are getting a couple jams on the UAC 2s, but the King Crab does not like the suppression fire, and he backs up. Death Strike now, right in front of us. We do have to get this guy down if we can. Cord center torso if possible. That is what we're going to aim for. I'm going to group up with the rest of my team. I realize I am completely on the flank by myself, so I'm going to help them out, hop over where my friends are firing in on, and going for that Centurion. He dips back into cover, focusing up again because he wanted another salvo into him. He comes around the corner, getting a little too aggressive, and we are able to take advantage of that. Helping out now on the flank, giving a little bit of suppression support fire now on the right flank, going for this catapult and that king crab who are teamed up. Now the kills are starting to stack 4-2 at this point. We do still need to be careful. I do not need to lose any sort of components or anything like that. And we only have 78 rounds of UAC 2 ammo left, and this king crab is giving us a lot of face time, trying to put some damage down cord, center torso, and right torso, so he needs to be extremely careful at this point. Turning the corner, we go for this Jaeger Mech again. He had no idea we were here, and now we're focusing up on his backside, cord, center torso on the front side, but he is able to escape while our UACs are jammed. Again, they keep jamming up, but they do cool down extremely fast. And now we're going to just turn around the corner here. We're going for this catapult. He's not even paying attention to us. And finally, that king crab goes down. He was who we were targeting. Center torso finally gets obliterated. We're going to help here on the flank. We're going to turn the corner and help out on this Centurion and that catapult who are focusing up on a couple of my friendlies as well as myself. 8-4 though, so we do need to be careful. Cord right torso on me. I do need to be careful. I don't want to lose anything. I have 23 rounds of UAC 2 ammo left. Going for this catapult in front of us, this Jester. Cord, center torso, left and right torso. So we're going to go straight for that center torso. He's focusing up on one of our friends here. He's turning around the corner, going for the backside of one of our friendlies in that Mad Cat 2. And we're trying to core him up on the backside, but he's trying to ignore us. We have no UAC 2 ammo left, and finally my team is able to wrap that kill up. 10-6 at this point. Gonna focus up on the Centurion, and this guy still has a lot of armor to churn through, as well as that AC-20 that we do need to be careful of. Do not need to get pinpoint targeted with that baby, so we're gonna keep our distance here, but put down some suppression and amplification damage while this guy tries to get back into cover. It's only me and a medium along with me, and we have an assault, but I don't think he's really that close yet where he can help at close range. But now we're going to go around the buildings a little bit here. We're going to get very, very close range. Going for the backside now. He does have a cord left torso. He's trying to torso twist his way out of this one, but I don't think it's going to last very long. He's getting some Lerm fire, going in with those small lasers, and we get the final kill to end the round. 12-6 is your final. We are out of ammo. We do not have our rocket launcher left. This was pretty much... I mean, apart from some other tweaks, an optimal game that you want to see out of this thing, to see its potential out there on the battlefield. 1 killing blow, 10 assists, 2 KMDDs, 4 components destroyed. A fantastic round overall, very, very intense, escalated very quickly, and was all at range for us for the most part until the battle started to really develop towards the end of the round, where we did get a little bit of short range. We ran out of ammo, so that is something that I definitely will have to look into for tweaking purposes going forward. If I want to add more ammo, something in that light, where we can make it through the entire round with the rest of our ammo and those ER smalls, because it's absolutely critical to have all of those weapons functioning together. The ER smalls are great, but we do need as much firepower as we can until the end of the round, and I would hate to think in a critical situation, if I don't have any ammo, and the team might even be relying on me, that I would run out of ammo and lose it for us. So I might have to make an adjustment there. But that's going to do it for this episode of MechWarrior Online. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check out the links in the description. I'll have a link to my Twitch page, where I'm going to be doing most of my streaming now, as well as a Patreon and PayPal page if you want to help support the channel in a financial capacity. I really want to say thank you to every single one of you guys who have helped support this channel and continue to make it a great place for the entire community to bounce ideas off each other, have a lot of fun, and just build a sense of community. So thank you guys so much for everything. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to let me know if you did in the comment section below. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Take care, guys.